Tonight, we want to go on a beautiful romantic dinner date in Italy. The only problem is, we're clearly still standing in Germany. So come with us today as we embark upon an epic road trip across the Alps for breakfast in Germany, lunch in Austria, snacks in Switzerland, dinner in Italy. It's gonna be an amazing day.
It is so quiet in here. I guess I'm just not used to being in a beer hall this early. Now, I am not much of a breakfast girly, which is fantastic because there are not a lot of vegetarian breakfast options here in Bavaria for me. So I'm just going with a little pretzel, some sweet mustard, a giant cappuccino because I'm going to be doing most of the driving because Ben is having a beer for breakfast.
Prost, everybody. Camille was not kidding. I am, in fact, drinking beer for breakfast, a traditional Bavarian Weisswurst-Frühstück. It's a pretty simple breakfast, perhaps not the most appealing for the camera. I mean, just take a look at this. It's got a little hat. Of all the wurst in the world, this is perhaps not the prettiest, but it might be the tastiest. You see, they don't roast it, they don't fry it, none of that. This is a boiled sausage consisting mostly of veal and pork fat that is just such a cultural staple of this region. In fact, we might even want to go so far as to say, you know, we're doing 4 countries in a day today, right? That's the goal. But you really shouldn't be focusing on the national borders because I'll tell you what, and the people in the comments will tell you too, this does not represent Germany. It represents Bavaria. So always be paying more attention to your cultural regions than your nationalities. Anyway, how do we eat it?
Take a big old bite out of it.
That would be so cringe. Now, I've seen quite a few videos of people having their Weisswurst in Munich, and be careful who you're watching on YouTube because they often make a bit of a fool of themselves. You see, unlike most sausages, you do not eat the skin on this one. A true Bavarian might slurp the meat out of the casing. I'm not doing that on camera. So if you want to maintain your dignity, you can use a knife and fork. But it's really important to peel it. You don't want to eat the whole thing. That'd be really gross. There you see what I mean? There you go. Oh. Unfortunately, it doesn't get pretty after you peel it. The thing is though, it's worth going out of your comfort zone, risking looking like a fool peeling your sausage, because this is absolutely delicious. I don't know anywhere else in the world you can get quite this taste. It is beautiful. It's just not pretty.
So ugly.
Along with the wurst, naturally, you're gonna have a brezen, you're gonna get your sweet mustard and the beer, which also you'll notice is not the traditional Helles I would usually get. You don't drink a Helles with your Weisswurst. You have a Weiss beer. It's a more wheaty variant. It's still light and aromatic, but it's brewed completely differently from a Helles. It's a bit of an older style beer, so many more fruity notes and clearly unfiltered. It's absolutely delicious in the morning. I don't think I could drink it by the litre, but it's pretty damn good. It's just so fruity, right? You don't get that with a Helles. You don't get that with a Pilsner even, right? Those are crisp, hoppy flavors. This tastes almost like a banana. It's really good. And I'm finishing it way too quickly. Luckily, I don't have to do any driving today. I will say, it's a pretty delicious breakfast. You need to try it, and I hope this is a good omen for the rest of the day. If the food is starting this good, how good is it gonna be when we get to Italy? That was absolutely fantastic, as I knew it would be. And frankly, I'm glad that on a video where we're traveling through so many countries, got to shoehorn a little bit of Bavarian culture. I mean, it wouldn't be a near from home video without it, right? Anyway, we do have a long road ahead of us, so let's go, get in the car, get driving, and speed through it. All that's kind of boring for a video, right? So I'll see you on the road. been a rather uneventful hour and a half so far. I mean, we've already done Germany and this stretch of the world quite a bit, but as we're about to cross the border into Austria, something you always need to remember to do, which is to buy a vignette, a special tax sticker that allows you to drive on the roads in a country that you're not from. That way, you are still paying to help support the infrastructure. We're gonna do a quick stop, we'll get back on the road, then cross into Austria and get our next meal. 3, 2, 1, Austria! Oh my God. I know that only feels like moments for you, but that's been 2 hours for me already today. But we are finally at our first, I guess, second food stop of the day. The first one we've had to drive to. To make it nice and special, we decided to stop by the Restaurant de Gasthaus Zugspitze, where you're supposed to get a really good view of the reverse side, the Austrian side of the Zugspitze, the tallest mountain in Germany. However, even though we can't see the mountain today, shall we take a photo in the frame? Tallest mountain in Germany, somewhere over there.
Happy summer.
Happy summer indeed.
The middle of August.
This is what we're getting. It's been such a wet and cold year. The weather is not particularly cooperating. So instead of spending a lovely pit stop on this veranda with that mountain view, it's gonna be a little more dramatic and cloudy. The food will still taste just as good though, right? Prost, everybody, to our Austrian meal. And I must admit, I'm a little bit confused, right? Because the beer in this area, in this region of the world, is always very local. And when you cross the border into Austria, you get a Stiegl. That's the beer in Salzburg. We filmed it years ago. And all on the menu and on the signage, it says Stiegl, but here it says Spaten. That's a Munich glass. I didn't drive 2 hours to drink the beer I can get at home, but I did check, and it is Stiegl, the official beer of having crossed the border and gone on vacation. And luckily, because you're doing most of the driving today, I can keep drinking. Second beer of the day, not bad for a road trip.
I'm enjoying my cappuccino.
You might need a second one. For our meal, we decided to go with something classically Tyrolean, nice and hearty. We have Käsespätzle, which I can get at home, but I always prefer it in Austria, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, because it comes in this cool pan.
For those of you who aren't in the know, a Käsespätzle is, well, Spätzle is kind of a rustic noodle, if you will, covered in local mountain cheese and crispy onions. It's an amazing dish. People compare it to an American mac and cheese, but that's just missing the point. This is way better. And then we also went with a Grüstel, and that's kind of a really good breakfast dish in a way because it's just pan-fried potatoes, vegetables, meat, fried egg on top. Kind of reminds me of a bubble and squeak, but a little better. This is just such a classic way to start the day. Though, a rather heavy one. Both dishes absolutely luck the part. This is classic Austrian food if I've ever seen it, but none of that really matters. What's most important is how does it taste? I absolutely love this dish. It just looks and feels and tastes like breakfast. Bit of meat, bit of egg, bit of potato. It's really good. But I must admit, I am most excited for the Käsespätzle because it just, I don't know. I love Bavaria. It's my home. Would die for Bavaria. But the Käsespätzle tastes a little bit better in Austria.
It's the pan.
The best part about the pan is it just leaves this wonderful crust on the bottom. You get like a really good fried bottom on there. I haven't had this in a little while. Usually an after hiking snack. Starting the day with this feels way too decadent for a brunch. This is incredible. You might want to taste this because it's one of the better ones we've had in a while.
That is so good. I love Käsespätzle, but I haven't had it in a long time, so it's really great to re-experience it Tyrolean style, which is my favorite. With the little skillet I've mentioned 3 times.
The skillet is so good.
I don't know if you said this, but the mountain cheese is like especially strong and flavorful.
Oh, the Bergkäse here is really nice.
It's good. Oh, I'm so glad we stopped here.
I'll tell you what, I thought that restaurant was really good. I was quite worried. I was a little nervous because obviously I picked it for the view. And so without it, I was worried that, you know, sometimes at these more touristy spots, the food can be a little bit not as good. You know, you're paying for the view, not really amazing food, but this place has both. I can only hope the rest of the food tour is just as good. And on that note, we're quickly going behind schedule again. So let's get in the car. You need to get driving. Okay, it's been a little while. I think it's time we finally swap drivers. I am now more than ready. So Camille's gonna get a rest. And while we do that, how about we go ahead and go into this grocery store, get some fun drinks, non-alcoholic this time, and let's get going. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of time on the road today, a little bit less time exploring. But, you know, what can you do? Oatlicino, anybody? Should help wake me up. And when in Austria, you need to get yourself a proper Austrian confection. Granted, you can get them everywhere. You can get these in Munich, but not this variety. They have the dark chocolate Mozart ones. Let's go. And just in case that mochaccino doesn't work, I have a feeling this will. I keep hoping the weather will get a little better, and it just isn't.
So bad.
At least we have little chinos now. Nothing like reviewing a little cappuccino in a car because you can't go outside. Rainy day Prost. Oh, that's oat milk and caffeine.
The design makes it look so good.
It's so pretty. Look how fun this looks. This will wake us up for more driving. But anyway, we have one more stack to try.
Mana!
Chocolate cheers. Much better. These are delicious.
And this variety is a little bit hard to find. It's the one that's completely covered in chocolate.
Almonds and hazelnut and lots of chocolate. These are incredible. Oh. All right, no more procrastinating. Need to get back on the road.
Mana!
Despite the far less than ideal weather, I will say that this drive so far has been absolutely gorgeous. Just the landscapes have been so dramatic. And in moments where it's not absolutely pissing it down, you know, it's been really, really pretty. We're gonna have to do this drive again one day. Like, it's so dramatic and so beautiful. So unpleasant to be in right now.
3, 2, 1.
Switzerland! All right, second border crossing, third country, and you know what that means? We need to buy another vignette. It's gonna start adding up soon.
Ein Vignette zum Kaufen?
Wie fahren Sie denn?
Schweiz.
Durch Schweiz nach Italien.
Le Como.
Ja,
Como
Le Como,
Sie?
genau.
Brauchen Sie keine.
Oh, really?
Ja,
Warum?
weil keine Autobahn da ist. Sie
Ah,
fahren mit St. Moritz nach Chiavenna.
Ja, genau.
Ja,
Ja, da
ja.
gibt es keine Autobahn.
Oh, perfekt.
Sehr schön.
Danke. Danke.
Okay, we are done. It was actually a false alarm all along. If you're just driving to Lake Como via St. Moritz, as we are, you actually don't use the Autobahn, so you don't need to buy a vignette. Meaning we just stopped for nothing. That's not so bad. At least it was cheap. Yeah, this is really unpleasant. I mean, at least the roads in Switzerland are like really nice. If this road was any less well maintained, I would feel really unsafe being this high up on mountain switchbacks in this weather. But luckily the roads are really nice.
Both hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
Ah! Sorry. Ah!
No. Like it's so dramatic and so beautiful. All right, now next up here in Switzerland, I am not hungry at all. I mean, that should be pretty obvious. So to still have a good culinary experience here, we've decided to stop in St. Moritz for some chocolates. There's always room for chocolates. And so to get my sugary fix, we've come down into the pedestrian-only zone of St. Moritz to visit Konditorei Hanselmann, one of the only confectioners still open at this time of day. It looks really cool. The building is beautiful, but I'm worried about how much money we're about to spend on Swiss chocolates. Things aren't known for being cheap here. So to really get a good sampling of Swiss chocolate, we've gone for both the hot chocolate drink and a bunch of truffles. I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm not hungry, but I love chocolate. The drink itself is super interesting because it's not just a hot chocolate, it's a hot Ovaltine, or as Americans might pronounce it, Ovaltine. For those of you that don't know, because it's quite old-fashioned unless you're in Switzerland where it's considered completely normal, it's a hot chocolate with a bunch of malted milk powder in it, so you get a malty note, a heavy, almost wheaty undertone beneath the chocolate, at least as I expect. I mean, I am from Britain. I know quite a bit about some good malt. Let's try it. I will say that elevates a hot chocolate quite a bit. I'm not a huge hot chocolate fan, but yeah, the malty undertones remind me of home. It's delicious. Now, naturally, I can't eat all of these truffles myself. Some are for Camille, some are for me. And we tried to get some that, at least to me, represented St. Moritz. In particular, the champagne truffle. That is so strong. They do not shy away from the alcohol flavor of the champagne. That is incredibly good. So Moorish.
I can smell it from here.
You can smell it on my breath?
Yeah.
Well, that's not so good, but that tasted amazing. Naturally, I went for a plain chocolate because if you are trying to tell the quality of the ingredients, try something normal, try something you've had a million times before. I've eaten plenty of milk chocolate in my day. How will the Hanselmann stand out? That is incredibly delicious. That is really tasty. You would hate it because it's just the perfect milk chocolate, but I loved that. And of course, I couldn't help but get the eponymous Hanselmann chocolate. This is just a tour of chocolates you wouldn't like, but I would love. It's all coconut.
And I like truffles so much, I named my cat Truffles. So I've got some dark chocolate truffles, specifically pistachio, because it's like so good.
That is your favorite flavor.
Oh my God, this is so good.
Right? It's like a little better than you think it's gonna be.
Dubai chocolate who?
Now, I must admit, I'll be completely honest with you, I did think chocolate is chocolate is chocolate. How much better could it possibly be in Switzerland? Maybe it's the ambiance, maybe it's the fun of the drive, but I do actually think that was a little better than average. It was really good. That is living up to the legend of Swiss chocolate. Thank you. Not bad for a cheeky little pit stop, some delicious chocolates, but now it's time to leave Switzerland behind, onwards to Italy. This road is absolutely insane. I don't think I've ever driven on this many switchbacks.
I'm having to turn the wheel so much. At least it's really nicely paved.
I mean, good practice from Kazakhstan. Yeah, you've been passed so many times, but that's fine. In this weather, on this road, I think we can go slowly. Essentially just descending down the side of a cliff. I can barely believe it. It is beautiful in a daunting kind of way. Three, two, one, Italy! And just like that, 8 hours later, we have completed a 6-hour drive through 4 countries. We are officially not only in Italy, but in Val Chiavenna, an area of the world I have wanted to explore for so long. But night is quickly falling, and I do want to get a taste of this town before I go to sleep. So let's go on a damn good walk and get a damn good dinner. Luckily, the Italians eat that pretty late, so we might be able to walk around for a little bit. This town is blisteringly beautiful. It's genuinely painful to exist in a place with so much visual interest surrounding you. I didn't know that Chiavenna was gonna be so beautiful, so we spent all day having a food tour. And I think I might actually regret that in a way, because to have come here early and made a video about just this town alone would be a dream come true that I'll have to save for another summer. I know what you're thinking, why don't you just film it tomorrow? But we actually go off hiking into the mountains themselves to the most remote villages in Italy that are quickly losing their population. It's gonna be an amazing video going around ghost towns and, unfortunately, soon to be ghost towns. But for this evening, this walk has been mind-altering. It's just that good. But there is one last thing to do. I'm hungry again. So let's have 4 meals in 4 countries. Meet me at the Grotto. For Val Chiavenna, the valley in which the town of Chiavenna sits, has a pretty amazing culinary tradition that you can't find anywhere else. And that is, of course, the grottos themselves, which are a unique geological formation that occurs when an unstable mountain drops a boulder into the ground, forming a crack all the way through the rock, an icy tunnel for wind to ceaselessly whip through, creating nature's refrigerator. The peoples of Val Chiavenna have been using these natural phenomena for centuries to keep their food cool and preserved. And naturally, a unique restaurant tradition formed right from it. Here, the grottos serve some of the best, most typical food of the valley, and I cannot wait to try it. Salute for our last meal of the day. I am so tired, barely hungry, but I must eat at this restaurant because it looks incredible. Now, for the table, we did get wine, as that is naturally what you do in this region, but they had a local beer and I had to try it. The Geneviève de Brabant, a regional beer. It looks absolutely fantastic. But how does it taste? And how does it compare to Munich? Drank a lot of beer today for a road trip. It's lovely, it's crisp, it's refreshing, but it's so much more hop forward because we've left Bavaria. Every single time, it doesn't matter what direction you go, they start making the beer just a little bit more bitter. And frankly, it's kind of refreshing. In keeping with nature's refrigerator that is the grotto, we have preserved meats, kind of a jerky for the table, which I've never seen before. Looks delicious though, so I don't think you'll be able to try it. It's amazing. I never eat jerky. I didn't grow up with it in England. I never really partook in America. So I don't have a lot of baselines to compare this to, but it tastes amazing. That's gotta count for something.
So for my entree, I got trout. I'm super excited to try this on the other side of the Alps because in Munich at the beer gardens, that's usually what I go for. Super excited to compare the two. What I am not excited for is to try to debone this fish on camera. oh God, I don't know how to do this. I just go like this? Ooh, that smells so good. It's stuffed with garlic and rosemary. Ooh, they don't do that in Munich. That's good. So I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish, but no other meat. But this reminds me of like a Christmas dinner because it's so rosemary-y and garlicky. It's very strange in a fish. Like it tastes really good, but I haven't had these sort of meaty flavors all together in a really long time. The Germans might call this spicy.
For my main, I went with gnocchi, Chiavenna style, and now that I'm looking at it in this bowl, it kind of seems like I ordered Käsespätzle again. But I promise, I was spoiled for choice on the menu. Everything looked great, so I picked the thing with the word Chiavenna in it. But if you look at the dish itself, gnocchi isn't really that much like spätzle. It's based on potato instead of wheat, and we've got a lot of garlic and herbs and rosemary, kind of like Camille's fish. So perhaps this dish could be described as yelling the recipe of Käsespätzle down a mountain to the Italians below, who just use whatever they have on hand to make it instead. You know, a game of telephone. But no matter who told who the recipe, how does it taste? Like everything below the Alps, a little bit better than what I get north of it. It's so delicious. The flavors themselves, the cheese, the Parmesan they put on top, the garlic and the oil, the gnocchi is just so aggressively potatoey in a way that I just love. I'm not gonna say I like this more than the Käsespätzle, but Let's just say they both have room on the table. They're just so delicious.
The food just might be a little bit better when you come to Italy.
As if there could be a doubt as to how delicious that meal was. I mean, today has been a day of amazing food and amazing locations. Kind of mixing a little bit of slow and a little bit of fast travel, if you will, as we've covered a great distance, but we've explored the cultures along the way. And of course, don't think just because this video is ending that our time in this amazing naturescape is, because no, tomorrow we're waking up bright and early, hiking off deep into the mountains, as I said, to go and visit the most remote village in Italy. A place that can only be visited by hiking there on your own 2 feet. It's gonna be an amazing trip. You're not gonna wanna miss that. And so with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video half as much as I've enjoyed eating my way through it. It's been an incredible day. If you like this kind of travel content, if you like slow travel, if you like getting off the beaten path, then please do subscribe. Tell all of your friends, let's grow the Near From Home community together, because we often can't rely on the algorithm. Give us a tip if you think we've earned it, and I will see you in the next video, wherever that might be. Italy!
Living that dolce vita.
We're cutting that.